Today we hosted an event entitled Bloody Difficult Women. We wanted to look at the treatment and experience of women in the media and on social media.
When men are perhaps shut down in a conversation or in a debate, it can be quite personal and quite antagonistic, but with women it goes very, very quickly to perhaps language that is not used. So even things like rape threats and death threats, it's very sort of violent, and that is completely different.
I think in the short term it's really unpleasant, and it's not actually something that women should have to put up with. It means that fewer women want to stand up and put themselves out there. So we've seen recently a lot of women who've stood down from politics because they've decided that they don't want to take that. If that has a long-term impact on our politics and we have fewer women who are willing to stand as candidates, that's going to have a huge impact on our country.
For me, specifically, I campaign against female genital mutilation, which is something that you would think that the whole world would be horrified about. But ultimately, talking about those experiences as a woman and as a survivor has meant that my experience and my conversations have been shut down.
I think long term, it starts to seep into our psyche, our collective psyche, and it stops women from wanting to engage in debate. And I think long term, it's actually having an impact on our willingness to reach for the frontline jobs.
There's this thing called doxing, where people actually share your name and your address and then encourage people to even go round to your house, which can make people feel incredibly vulnerable. I know that it had quite an effect on me at the time. I managed to deal with it, but it did make me think more about being in the public.
I think as a society this is something that we definitely need to deal with. I don't think we would put up with the abuse that we see online if we were down our local pub, for example.
I think actually all people, men and women, need to start calling this out and understanding that it's not okay. I think stepping back from that, calling out misogyny will mean that the social media platforms have to listen, and they have to be better at policing it.
I think in the next few years as we go into the 21st century, that ultimately we will be able to police and really regulate and really make the online spaces a lot safer, not just for women but everybody that wants to access those spaces, and specifically for minority groups.
I'm a special advisor to the Internet Commission, which is actually doing great things to bring transparency in the absence of full regulation. So that is something that's also helping. But I think it's also just about recognising that we can be kinder to each other, and that will hopefully make a bit of a sort of a grassroots movement, shall we say.